We are. And in fact, I think most Democrats will tell you, especially those of us on Oversight, that we've had numerous folks from inside these agencies reach out to us, oftentimes whistleblowers, folks that want to tell their stories. And I think what you're hearing, and a lot of it's come out in the public, is people are upset, they're frightened, they're thinking about the impacts of their families. And we're talking about people from across the country. And it's not just federal employees that are essentially getting an email saying, oh, by the way, you're fired. It's farmers across the country that are seeing their contracts cut. It's manufacturers that are seeing long-time contracts with the government that all of a sudden are being ended overnight. So the impact that this is having on the actual economy is also really dangerous. And of course, there's no rhyme or reason. Elon Musk, the richest person on the planet, and that been given power to essentially cut any program he and his team want. And these programs are hurting the people that need it the most, the poorest people, working class people. So it's important that we continue to call it out and that we hear from the folks inside the agencies.
You guys, your party, Democrats in Congress, are getting a lot of calls from angry constituents. I want to know what you're hearing from them and also how you're reading that frustration that you're hearing, frustration with Democrats who they think can better oppose the Trump agenda.
Well, I think the main thing we're hearing, and I agree, is folks back home in our districts want us to fight back. And they want to ensure that we're bringing the fire and the same level of energy that the House Republicans and the extremists in Congress are bringing to this fight. So I think it's really important that us as a party listen to the folks on the ground. We need to be matching that energy and taking on Elon Musk, calling him out every single day and bringing the facts and the actual truth to actually combat all this misinformation that's out there. So we're hearing that, and I'm also hearing from a lot of folks that are saying, yes, keep it going, keep bringing up the truth, keep fighting Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And then, of course, there's just a lot of people that are scared. And so I think that's also very concerning. People are actually being harmed. We're hearing from parents, for example, who have children with disabilities that are in our schools. They're actually going to be really impacted if the Department of Education gets eliminated, as Elon Musk wants to do. So it's a mix of things, but people want us to fight back.
And during the Hunter Biden affair, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who now chairs this subcommittee, she had put up some censored but still quite revealing photos of the first son, who was nude and with alleged prostitutes, photos that she said were taken from his laptop. Today, you hearken back to that moment with this one in the DOJ subcommittee hearing. I want to play this.
Now, I find it ironic, of course, that our chairwoman, Congresswoman Greene, is in charge of running this committee. Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Greene literally showed a dick pic in our Oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man. He was the biggest political donor in the last election. He has billions of dollars in conflicts of interest.
Let me just ask you, and maybe your last answer is a preview of, I think, what you could say here, but I want to hear why. But do you think that calling Elon Musk a dick is effective messaging for confronting what is a potentially irreversible transformation of the U.S. government?
Well, he is a dick. And I think that he's also harming the American public in an enormous way. And what I think is really important, and what the American public want, is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight for democracy, for the future of this country. And it's important to push back on the chairperson of this committee. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene talks about having decorum, about bipartisanship. This is the person that lies more than anybody else in the entire Congress. And so if she is going to make a mockery of hearings, I want to make sure that us as Democrats are bringing that same level of energy. And of course, after those comments, we went into exactly what Elon Musk is trying to do: dismantling the Department of Labor, dismantling the Department of Education, dismantling all of our consumer protection agencies. And so it's all important, but it's also important to get the attention of the American public and call Elon Musk out for what he is, and to make people know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is not a serious legislator, and she shouldn't be treated as such.
Axios is reporting also that there is some tension between Democratic grassroots group in Congress, that it's led to some finger pointing we're hearing this. I think this is what we hear when we talk to Democrats, just kind of across the board, whether they're lawmakers or they are advocates or they are constituents. And Congressman Don Beyer pointedly said something about Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. He says, quote, "We're still looking for that national spokesperson, and it could be that Hakeem becomes that national voice. It hasn't happened yet." Do you have, as a party, the leadership that you need?
Absolutely. Well, first, let me just say that I think Hakeem Jeffries is our party's best communicator. He's a great leader of the caucus. But I mean, listen, we all agree with our groups. A lot of these groups that are on the ground are grassroots activists. They want all of us to engage more. They want Democrats to bring the energy. And I think everyone should recognize that. I think people do. And I'm proud of Leader Jeffries. He's out there. He's at rallies. He's speaking out. And he's going to be the person leading our negotiations in the weeks and months ahead. And so I'm really proud of our leadership. But it's important for those of us rank and file members, especially us newer members like myself, to bring the energy in the fight. I think that's going to be really critical in these months and really years ahead.
Do you feel that there's a broad understanding across your party that is a strategy that the party is coalescing around?
I do, and I think you're seeing that in this, particularly this last few days and last week. I think people understand that we cannot just kumbaya with our House Republican majority and hope for bipartisanship in this era. These folks are dismantling our institutions. They're dismantling our government. They're damaging our public universities. They want to raid Medicare and Medicaid. That takes a different level of energy and strategy. And I think it's one that I think us as a party understand. And I think at the center of that is bringing the truth and the fight to the Congress, to the White House, and to the public. And I think you're seeing the public react. What happened for example, with the grants, all the other government grants. The public reacted, and Donald Trump had to pull back. So that's going to continue to happen.